everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kristen from runfitmama.net. You can also find me on Instagram at runfitmama. And I wanted to do a fun video where some of you asked me questions about training or nutrition, and then I can answer them for you on here. So I get a lot of questions through texts and emails through my clients, and then I get a lot of questions on Instagram about macros and calories and all that fun stuff. So I thought it'd be really fun to condense it all and answer it all at once. So my first question is, are BCAAs mandatory, or are they beneficial, I guess would be the better word. So here's the thing, guys. BCAAs are branched chain amino acids. They are the pieces that make up protein. A lot of people use them in their water when they're training, or if they're training fasted, or if they are just kind of going about day-to-day life and can't really get enough protein. So it's kind of a yes and no. For someone like me, I get an adequate amount of protein every day. I always hit my protein. That's never an issue. I don't really need them. Do they taste amazing? Yes, they do. I could tell you many brands that I love. They taste really good. They taste like a Jolly Rancher, any flavor. So, but I get my protein every day. So for me, because I'm not getting only 50 grams of protein every day, or some days it's hit or miss, I'm not really like missing any of those links. So I don't really invest in them. It's kind of like drinking Crystal Light, to be honest, like in terms of what it would do for me. So, and you know, it has added colors and sugars and all of that. So I just don't really feel like I need it. I just, you know, like to flavor my water with some lemon or cucumber or something like that. But if you're someone that you can never get enough protein, you are really struggling, maybe it's something to think about. If you also are someone that hates the taste of water and you feel like you need something to kind of motivate you to drink more, by all means get it. But again, it's not necessary. It's almost, you know, it's $20. So do you want to waste $20, or do you just want to get more protein? Or do you just want to flavor your water? So it is not necessary. It is not going to take away any of your gains or your goals from what it is that you're doing. It's just maybe something that you might like to sip on throughout the day. So another question I had was what to do to break out of a plateau. Well, there are many things you can do. The first thing I would do is make sure that you are very, very specific on your MyFitnessPal. A lot of times people think they're plateauing, but they're getting a little bit lackadaisical about, that's a word I haven't used in a long time, about all their bites, licks, and tastes. So maybe they're having a chicken nugget or two off of their kid's plate, or they've used a different coffee creamer that maybe has more calories than they are realizing, things like that. I would, for one solid week, I would enter in everything. I mean, the good, bad, and the ugly. So if you've been really good about entering in your calories and you really have been staying within your calorie range and doing all of your workouts and all those great things, then what I would do next is to increase your NEAT, which is your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So let's say you wear an iWatch and you get about 5,000 steps a day. What I would do, I would not change anything but trying to get 10,000 steps a day. So take your dog for a 30-minute walk at the end of the day. That little bit of extra energy will actually make huge difference in the long run. So I would then try that. I would maybe play tag with your kids in the backyard, get some more steps like that. And then if that's not working, then I would also take a look at your cardio. So I think I know what you think I'm gonna say. I think you think I'm gonna say do more cardio. I'm actually not. If you're a runner, or if you like to do a lot of cardio at the end of your workout and you're overdoing it, it's actually going to make you more hungry, which might be slowing you down in the long run, if that makes sense. So what I would do is, if you are doing too much cardio, I would dial that back a little bit, just keep focused on the nutrition side of it as well for another week or two, and see if anything changes that way. That's another thing too. The thing about plateaus and the thing about your body is very, very stubborn. All of my clients, when they lose weight, it looks like this: down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So do you see it's kind of going all the way down? It never looks like this. And the first check-in I get, maybe like a month in, where a client's up 3 or 4 pounds, which, let me tell you, you do not gain fat in 3 or 4 pounds worth in 1 week. That's just not. It's swollen muscles, and it's, you know, too much water or an extra glass of wine that week, so you're a little inflamed, whatever. or maybe you haven't gone to the bathroom. That's another thing. So, so let's talk about that. So if you are in a plateau for a week or two, that's not really, you know, anything to worry about. Your body is going to get very, very stubborn. What it's going to do, it's going to hold on to your weight as long as possible, or maybe go down and then go up again for a little while. But you're staying strong, you're staying true to those calories, and you're getting in your heavy, you know, lifting days, and eventually your body's gonna be like, all right, fine, and it's gonna drop a few pounds. A lot of times what I have with my clients is they go, you know, like I said, they go down and then they go up a little bit, and down and up a little bit, and sometimes they'll go down and they'll go way up past, you know, a couple check-ins worth, and they're freaking out, which is the last thing you should do is stress, because stress holds on to water and cortisol and all that crap. And then what they do the next week, they drop like 5 pounds. So just remember that the scale is more than just fat. It's water and stress and sleep and digestion and hormones and everything. So if any one of those little things are off, the scale's up a little bit, but it doesn't necessarily mean fat. So if your measurements aren't going up, but the scale's going up, it's all of those other things. And especially if your calories are within range, it's not extra fat. So the next thing you could try doing to break out of your plateau is to go have a cheat meal. I know it kind of seems silly, but sometimes if you've been too hard on yourself with your diet and you've been too stressed out about it, the best thing you can do is to go out on a date night or go to the movies and enjoy yourself and have a good cheat meal. I don't really like to call it cheat. I call it like a refeed. So when I think about that, I think I'm just going to increase my carbs, maybe 100 or 200 grams in the day. I know it seems like a lot, but you know, if you go out and you want to have frozen yogurt, go ahead and enjoy it and just get back on track the next day. And sometimes that actually really does help. Your body kind of relaxes. And then also you feel more fed for your workouts to come because you kind of went over that one day. The next thing you could try as well is if you're someone who's in a plateau and you're feeling really hungry, what I would do is I would increase your calories maybe 50 or 100 calories every day for a week. I know that might seem crazy to increase if you're plateauing, but again, you might have gotten to that point where your muscles have grown, you can metabolize more, and your body needs more fuel. And sometimes increasing those calories will help you bust out of that. And a lot of times what I've done to myself is I've increased for a little bit, and then once I'm like, all right, I'm actually not hungry enough for all of those calories, I bring it back down to where I was before, and that'll do the trick. Your body is stubborn, like I said, and especially women with your menstrual cycle, it's just, sometimes it just goes through phases where it kind of wants to hang on to it, but you have to keep pushing. Think about it in terms of a year, not in a month, not in a week, or even 3 months, really. You need to think about it as changing the look of your body composition, everything is changing. And that doesn't just happen overnight, and it doesn't happen with, 5 pounds. It happens very slowly, and you're trying to build muscle to burn fat, and it's a whole big cycle. So think about it as complicated as it is. So give yourself some time to really break out of that and kind of restart that process again. So another question I had was, does fasted training work to burn fat? I mean, I'll tell you, for me, it doesn't. For women, I wouldn't recommend it, especially if you're dieting. I'm not talking about being at maintenance or being in a bulk, but if you are cutting or you've taken away calories and you're eating less than 11 or 12 times your body weight, and you're not sleeping enough, I definitely wouldn't, because for me personally, I was only sleeping about 4.5 hours every night. And then I decided, oh, wouldn't it be fun to get up early and do some cardio fasted? And my body freaked out. So it doesn't do anything more for you than being in a caloric deficit. So if you're eating under the amount of calories it would it would take to gain weight, doing fasted cardio or regular cardio, it's like all the same. If you enjoy fasted cardio, if you sleep enough and you feel great and you love to just wake up, put on your running shoes and go out for a 30-minute jog, go for it. But it's not going to make you burn fat more than this other person over here who likes to work out in the evening and has already had their lunch and things like that. A lot of studies have shown that as long as you eat the amount of calories and protein and everything that you need in one day, it's not going to do anything more or less for you to be fasted or fed. So another question I had was calories or macros. Well, it's kind of the same thing. So if you are someone who can eat 1900 calories and stay at maintenance, and you are someone who, oh crap, whatever that would be in terms of macros, we'll just pretend 150 protein, 150 carbs, and 60 grams of fat. That should probably be around 1700 calories. So 1700 calories, and then your macro person over here. If this person is eating 1700 calories and this person's eating 1700 calories, and they have the same metabolism, both women, they are both the same height, weight, and activity level, neither one's gonna gain or lose more than the other. Now, this person, let's say this person's like a cardio bunny, never lifts weights, whatever, and this person does macros and eats enough protein to build muscle and enough fat to maintain hormone levels, this person might look better, I mean, in terms of what you want to look like. So calories always matter first. They are always king on the board. Your protein is your queen. That's why if I tell clients, if it's very overwhelming for you, pick two things. You want to hit your calories and you want to hit your protein. The other two, well, we can worry about that and work on that later, and that's more for physique and the way you want to look. But if you are within your calorie range that you need to be for maintenance or for bulking or cutting, then you are going to do just the same as macros. If you go over on calories, you will gain weight, even if you're in some sort of macro ratio or in a percentage that you've set up on MyFitnessPal. So the main goal or the main key to that is always going to be calories. You cannot change science. You cannot change biology. It's just, it is what it is because a calorie is a unit of energy. That's why I get a little frustrated with all the crazy articles and books out there, because any true scientist that knows, and I'm not saying I'm a scientist, but I study a lot of people who are scientists, who have PhDs in nutrition and metabolism and all those wonderful things, you can't change a calorie. So just because you eat, you're on the strawberry diet and you only eat 1700 calories of strawberries, guess what? I'm over here and I eat 1700 calories of Twinkies. They're both the same. You might feel like crap eating Twinkies over strawberries, but you're not gonna gain more than this person over here. There's no diet that's, you know, better than another diet in terms of losing weight. So my last question was, what is better, 6 small meals a day or 3 large meals a day? I know that there's a lot of talk of, like, you know, keeping your metabolism guessing or not keeping your metabolism guessing, or, you know, your body is going to think it's starving if you don't eat every 2 to 3 hours. No, that's not how it works at all. Again, calories are units of energy. As long as you are feeding your body, I don't care if you sit down and you want to eat 1800 calories in one sitting, but you've eaten all your protein, your carbs, and your fat, you feel satisfied, you sleep great, and that is your one time a day that you feel hungry, you're not doing any better than me over here who's eating 6 times a day. I like to eat 6 times a day because I like to snack. So I like to have smaller meals and then feel like I can spread it out over the day than just sitting down 3 times a day. If you're someone that likes to eat 3 times a day, but again, you hit your protein and your fats and your carbs, you've just divided it into 3, that's fine too. You have to find what makes it work for you, because otherwise you are not going to stick with it. So if some diet is telling you, I can only eat every 2 hours, but I'm not hungry every 2 hours, and now I've started to skip meals, and then I get too hungry and I overeat at dinner, that's not going to work for you. So you decide what works best for you and your schedule. As long as you're hitting your protein in a 24-hour window, you're not eating away muscle, you're not doing any of that. That's all been proven to not be true. So just do what works best for you and what's gonna make you stick with it the longest. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope I answered some of your questions well and didn't give too much attitude with some of that. If you have any other questions, please feel free to submit down below, or you can find me on Instagram at RunFitMama and ask me there. Bye, have a great day.